So what up? So look, Sparking Zero's first anniversary is around the corner, and with that, Bandai has released a first anniversary trailer saying that there will be more DLC on the way for the game, right? Y'all know at the end of the trailer, it was like, oh, to be continued, all that good stuff. So with that, I want to talk about what potentially we might get if it'll save the game. And really, I never really dropped a video talking about how I felt about DLC 3, so I was gonna get into that now. So first of all, DLC 3. I'm gonna be real. First of all, y'all already know 6 characters is just like, come on now, like we could have did better than that, for sure. And I feel like for us to get hold like that on not on the last DLC, but like for what was the last DLC of the first season pass that we all waited so long to get, it's just like, damn, like we really got hold. Because first of all, we waited, I don't know how many months, we waited almost a year after the game's release to finally get that DLC, months after Daima actually ended to get that DLC. And just looking back on like what we got versus how hyped up it was, it's just like, damn, like I do think we got a hold. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super happy with it. And to think they released it at the same time or about at the same time as Genshin Squadron kinda ruined it also, because maybe if Genshin Squadron didn't drop, I would have spent more time on DLC 3. I would have spent more time with it, maybe gave it a little bit more love. But that game, or not that game, that DLC released, I tested the characters, was very disappointed with how they looked outside of cutscenes, and hopped straight back on Squadron. Like I gave it no time of day. Mainly because they put the trailer out, they did not show us what the characters looked outside of cutscenes, and it's for the reason that they don't look the same, first of all, in every cutscene, nor do they look the same outside of the cutscenes. Y'all might already know how they look. Outside of cutscenes, the characters, personally, in my opinion, look terrible. I feel like they clearly didn't spend the same amount of time. Like, even if you was to take GT Super Saiyan 4 versus Daima, how they look in game, you can clearly tell which one they put more effort into, I feel like, right? Either that or clearly all their time and effort was put into the cutscenes and how they looked in supers and stuff like that, right? So I don't know, I feel like overall it wasn't the best product. First of all, took way too long to come out for what it was, and I'm just like, I don't know, wasn't really that hype. Plus we got Squadron that came out directly before it, and it's just like, damn, like wasn't really too hype about it. But you know, it is what it is. But moving on, right? So DLC 4 was announced, quote unquote, right? They said to be continued, so they're saying more DLC will be on the way, right? Now, first of all, what may it be? Because we have no idea what they plan on releasing. We have no idea, because still to this day, like, they haven't said anything about what's in the future. They just say, hey, more is coming. So it could be a plethora of things. As y'all know, plenty of people, countless people, since the day the game released, have been asking for Super 17. Right now, I'm not gonna lie, there's plenty characters that could be added, right? And I always talk about this when I talk about BC3 versus Sparking Zero. We may have more characters in Sparking Zero, but do you know how many characters we lost from BT3 to Sparking Zero? Like, don't get me wrong, it's a good amount of characters in the game, but for the amount we lost for what? Super characters and the couple of diamond characters in the game that were DLC at that, is just like, I don't know. I feel like I would rather have the BT3 character roster than Sparking Zero. That's just me personally, because we lost favorites, bro. Where's Pycon? Where's Super 17? Nova and Ice Shenron? Like all these characters that we lost. I mean, we lost Orale, Grandpa Gohan. Who else? Like it's kind of crazy. Like, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there's more diamond stuff they could have added. So you can see here, Tamagamis, we definitely need those too. There's plenty of choices. My thing is, from this point, I don't think we're ever gonna get like a, how do I say? I don't think we're ever gonna get a like saga specific or like series specific DLC from now on, unless they only put like 2 to 3 characters from each in a DLC. I think we're just gonna get a bunch of random shit in a DLC from now on. This last DLC was 6 characters. Said they give us 6 characters in the next one. We can see this lineup. Super 17, the Shenrons, Pycon, Demon King Piccolo, Tao Papa. We could see something like that. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit less hype because it's not like too specific on what we're getting, but at the same time, it leaves that room for like, okay, what might we get? What may we get? Right? Which is cool. You know, at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's just the hype that the game once had is kind of gone for me right now. Like, I want it to do well. It's just the hype that was once there, waiting for what was supposed to be Tenkaichi 4 to drop, is just, it's gone for me. I mean, and you can see that that's the case for a lot of people based on the amount of people playing, the amount of people watching the game be played. Like, it's bad right now. It's in a drought. But also, there's maps they could add. Like, I could see DLCs dropping, like, say they drop all these characters, right? With maybe a map, a DLC, if they start releasing DLC at a decent pace, right? I mean, there's so many maps like that we lost from BT3 to Sparking Zero that we already have had, but people would like go crazy over just because we lost them and we got them back in high quality, right? Like, I mean, we ain't got Glacier, the Hell map. Like, there's so many different maps that we lost, right? And this is another thing. Like, we got, think about it, we got a superhero DLC with no story mode added to Gohan or Piccolo's story and no maps. If they really wanted to, they could go into like adding stuff to the story mode, not even just maps. Like, there is a lot they could do. It's just, there's so much different random stuff they could do that now we can't really guess what we're gonna get, on top of the fact that, is it really gonna be that hype? At least the same amount of hype that we had knowing we were getting a Diamond DLC, that we were just waiting for, knowing we were probably gonna get a GT trailer dropping to show the GT characters in the game, like Super Saiyan 4, Goku, Vegeta, Gogeta, right? Omega Shenron. I don't know. I really don't know, in all honesty. So I don't know. It makes you think like, damn, like now we just at this point where it's like the extras are being added. And I mean, there is stuff that we don't have that they easily could add for us to enjoy. Like, I mean, a Super Saiyan Bardock and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. These are just a couple of things that they could add that I really do hope they do, just for the sake of getting back all the old stuff we lost that we once had but no longer have. And there's not just maps and story mode stuff like that, right? You could show, or you could see like here, right? There's different modes we could have added to the game that we had. Like, there's countless things they could add that aren't just characters. And a lot of people are saying like, hey, they need to walk away from adding characters in the game and start looking into new game modes, new maps. And don't get me wrong, we did just get one new map, but come on now, one after about a year, we need more. We there's no way we don't get another, right? Like, I don't think there's any way possible that they give us that one and just leave it at that. Like, I mean, we know they're capable. So at this point, I don't know. I don't really have, like, I don't have my hopes up at this point is what it is for me. So I'm not expecting any of this. I'm just like, you know, it's all possible. And knowing that it's all possible is different from like, oh, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get that. Like I'm not saying any of that. So don't take what I'm saying as, oh, we're gonna get all this, because I doubt it, really. But it's possible. You know, the possibility is there. So I don't know. It is what it is. We're gonna get what we get at the end of the day. There's stuff we're missing. Like man, I see this and I laugh because like people say we could get this as a future Diamond DLC too, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. This should have already been here. Y'all already know. They didn't add Super Saiyan 3 Mini Goku. They didn't have transformations for adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So this is stuff they could add later. I'm just like, damn. But like, we really left this out. Like, this is crazy. This is pitiful to me. But it is what it is, once again. Now, as far as when we're going to get this stuff, there's some people saying, oh, January 2026, stuff like that. I don't think they've actually stated a date. But if I had to guess for when they're going to start showing off any future content, y'all already know, April Battle Hour. Like, this is the closest, like, big event for where they could show something of, like, high importance, right? So, like, if y'all think they might put something out soon, because mind you, this will be in 2026, I doubt they're gonna do something for January. That just seems way too soon. Like, they've never, I don't want to say they've never, but I doubt they're gonna do something that like soon and close to DLC 3, because y'all know how long it took for us to get DLCs in between each other. But who knows? Could happen in January, could get announced at Battle Hour. I think personally, whatever comes out or whatever gets announced is going to be announced here, because that just makes the most sense for me. But I don't know, man. Overall, my last little words on this is just like, I hope they do good by the game, because at this point, if it was to end and we were to get a sequel, I wouldn't be mad, because all the hype for Sparking Zero is just done for me. Don't get me wrong, I plan on making content on the game in the future. I'm still gonna go crazy coming out with the tutorials for all the new tech in the game. I do know they just recently somewhat patched all, quote unquote, of the combo resets in the game, so I will be dropping more tutorials for y'all, helping y'all out with stuff like that. But I don't know, that flame is gone, y'all. I think it's about time. I think DLC 3 was the nail in the coffin, as well as Gexen Squadra doing as well as it's doing. I think this is just it for the game. Everything from now on is, like I was saying before, probably just going to be a big pack of random shit, like I was saying before when I was showing off this right here. So I don't know. A lot of people don't have the hype. A lot of people left, you know, and it's not like the community is great either. So we're just here in a big puddle of negativity with a bunch of crazy negative people, like, on top of the fact that the game is just kind of dry. So I don't know, man. It at this point, it is what it is. I'm just gonna play what we get, and hopefully they do good by the game. That's all I want. Honestly, I still believe, I'd like to say this game is my favorite game still right now, because I mean, it's Tenkaichi 4, bro. And I think that's the only reason a lot of people are still giving the game any form of love, is because it's supposed to be a Tenkaichi 4. They didn't do right by it. They didn't at all. And that's why I'm disappointed mainly. They just did not at all whatsoever do right by the game. There's so much stuff that's missing that we should have had on release. But knowing this stuff is probably going to get added later, it's all just the new age gaming thing. Mind you, if this game had to release like back in the day, right, like when everything that you got on that disc was just it, like Tenkaichi 3 was. Back then there was no DLC. There was no future content for the game. You just got what was on the disc, and that was just that, unless they did a sequel. So, I don't know. I blame new age gaming. I blame DLC. I blame like updates for this, because without that, game would have came out polished and finished. On top of the fact that they released it specifically with Daima. I feel like if they would have waited, you know, and maybe gave it a couple of months, maybe until probably like the big stuff in Daima started happening, like around like episodes 16, 17, 18 maybe of Daima, the game probably could have thrived a little better. It probably would have been a little more polished, as Daima took months to finish. So they could have had like an extra couple of months to get their stuff together and do whatever they had to do. But they didn't. So I don't know. I'm disappointed right now is basically all like this comes down to. I'm not too happy with the latest DLC, and I have no idea when, or we really have no idea other than like maybe 2026, hopefully 2026, you know, when something new is gonna get announced or released. So I'm waiting for Battle Hour. That's my next point of where I think maybe some shit gets announced. But aside from that, I don't know. Like I said before, I feel like this is the nail in the coffin. I don't feel like the game is gonna be or do any better than it was previously in the future. Because what could they add at this point? Unless they add like a bunch of new maps and game modes that would bring like all those people back that just left, right? So, I don't know. I'm disappointed, but I hope y'all somehow, some way find some kind of love and fun in the game still. The only thing that keeps me or would really make me play this game now that we have Genshin Squadra is just playing with the homies, right? Chilling in the lobby. Aside from that, I don't know why I would get back on this game. I mean, they still, don't get me wrong, look, for all the competitive players that were, you know, really, really toxic, as y'all know, y'all might still play ranked, right? But this is the thing. There's plenty, and this might not be the case on PlayStation or Xbox or on the Switch when it drops, but on PC, where a lot of people play the game, where it's the most optimized, if both people have good hardware and Wi-Fi, there's countless cheaters in ranked. What do I mean by cheaters? First of all, people are boosting. That is happening everywhere, right? But not only that, people on PC are using mods to crash the game if they're about to lose in ranked. Most of the time, it's a free camera mod that people will use a keybind on their keyboard to turn on to crash the game, since it's a mod, and the game will just stop. It doesn't give them a loss. It doesn't give no punishment for that. It just allows it, and you get away with it. So there's no reason for me personally to go play the game for ranked, because I mean, this been a thing since back on the first rank reset. Like, this has been a thing for a while. So I have personally no reason to hop on there and play it competitively anymore. So I don't know, man. We're stuck at this point, and hopefully they can save the game, is all I have to say. Hopefully they come back with some fire shit, but if not, it is what it is. I expected it, right? Anyway, let me know y'all thoughts on this in the comments down below, man. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know y'all thoughts. But with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, man, drop a like on the video. If you like content like this or anything Dragon Ball related, drop a sub on the channel. And yeah, man, that being said, y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, night, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Catch me on stream playing Genshin Squadra with the homies, though, if you haven't already. And with that, I'm gonna see y'all next time, man. Peace. Lost all my friends, now I walk all alone.